So good morning, everybody. Welcome to class 11 economic session, chapter theory of demand. Almost 70% topics we have covered from this chapter. Still 30% is left from the chapter theory of demand. Subsequently, I would just revise you the questions which we have just covered. First was meaning of demand. Second, determinants of demand, or what are the factors affecting demand. Third, we have covered law of demand. Fourth, what are the exceptions to law of demand, right? In the determinants of demand, we have talked about mainly 4 points. Price of commodity itself, price of related goods, then income of the consumer, and taste and preferences. Price of commodity itself, we talk about the negative relation of price and demand. Price of related goods, we talk about the substitute goods and complementary goods. Income of the consumer, we talk about normal goods and inferior goods. And taste and preferences, we talk about the positive relation of taste of a commodity and demand for the other commodity, right? Then we have done the law of demand. Law of demand is the inverse relation between price of a commodity and demand. Other things remaining constant. And what were the other things? Can anybody tell me? Namish Jalan, I would like to ask from you, what were the other things that we have to keep it as constant while writing the law of demand? What other things we are making constant before writing the law of demand? Namish, you can speak now.
Preferences, income, and we are all another income, taste and preferences, and prices of related goods.
Very
We are
good.
taking them as constant.
Yes. The price of related goods, income of the consumer, taste and preferences, we are keeping it as constant while writing the law of demand. Right? Then we talk about that the law of demand doesn't apply on many situations, which we did yesterday. The law of demand doesn't apply on many situations. Law in economics is the general behavior, not must behavior. I explained the meaning of general behavior and must behavior, which I would like to know from Darshika. Darshika, what is meant by general behavior and what is meant by must behavior? You can speak now, we are listening.
Sir, general behavior is the behavior that is general to us.
Okay. And must behavior? Must behavior is which will actually happen, hamesha. But law in economics is not a must behavior कि हमेशा यही होगा. Law in economics is a general behavior. Generally ऐसा होता है. There would be some exceptions when this will law not work, right? So law in economics is a general behavior. The law of demand generally is observed when price rises, demand falls. When price falls, demand rises. Generally it happens, but not always. Not always. Is my point clear to all? Not always. Now tell me what are the conditions when we say that law of demand will not work. ऐसी कौन सी conditions हैं जहाँ पे we will say that law of demand doesn't work? We have already covered this yesterday. There are certain conditions still when law of demand will not work. Yes, I'm getting the answers in chat box. Very good, Ambika Mota, Siddhi. That's really good. Why did you start giving me answers in chat box? See, what are the conditions when law of demand will not work, which we covered yesterday? Yes. These are the conditions. Very good. I got almost answers from 22 students. That's really good. That means you people are studying at home. Good to see this. Chalo, stop giving answers in chat box. I'm just going to revise that again. Please stop giving answers. I've seen all your answers. Good. Sameer, Anshika, Lochan, Kushi, Sameer, Koyal. Very good. These are the points that we have covered. That here the law of demand would work as an exception and it is not going to work, definitely. Status symbol goods. Then we have covered fear of shortage. When I know that it could be, might get, the product might shortage in the near future. Ignorance. When consumer is ignored about the prices prevailing, so he almost give any price charged by the producer. Fashion related goods, necessities to life, changes in weather. So all these points we have already covered. Okay. One student have doubt in ignorance. Ignorance means that consumers may buy a commodity at a higher price when they are ignorant of the prevailing price. That means, if suppose मुझे नहीं पता कि the commodity which is being sold by the seller is of how much price, मुझे नहीं पता इसका असली कीमत क्या है. इसलिए whatever price is being offered by the seller, I am ready to pay that price. तो ऐसे में क्या होता है, अगर हम ज्यादा प्राइस भी दे देते हैं, ज्यादा प्राइस होते हुए भी हम लोग डिमांड कर देते हैं कमोडिटी की, which is against the law of demand. So when consumer feel ignorant about the prevailing prices, कि मार्केट में प्राइस चल क्या है उसको पता ही नहीं है, इसलिए जो प्राइस चल रहा होता है उसी को पे कर देता है. Sometimes it happens. So I hope it is clear to all. यहाँ तक सब क्लियर हो गया, I guess. So moving towards my next topic today. In the last topic we were doing law of demand, right? Yes, this we were doing law of demand. Now coming back again to the law of demand, it states the things remaining constant, price of commodity is inversely related to its demand. When price rises, demand falls. When price falls, demand rises. So ultimately, there is a negative relation between price and quantity demanded. Assumptions we are taking while writing the law of demand. Major assumption that we are taking while writing the law of demand is other things remaining constant, or which we call ceteris paribus. Now, other things remaining constant. Other things remaining constant means other factors affecting the demand remaining constant. Price के अलावा, क्योंकि price और demand का तो relation we have already mentioned in law of demand. So other than price, whatever factors can affect the demand, income of the consumer can affect the demand, taste and preferences can affect the demand, the price of related goods, like price of substitute goods can affect the demand, price of complementary commodity can affect the demand. So we are taking them as constant while writing the law of demand. जब हम law of demand लिख रहे हैं, we are simply saying कि एक commodity का price और उसकी demand में क्या है. We are simply writing the price and the commodity demanded, right? We are not taking the relation of other factors. So if question arises in 3 marks, what are the other factors that are basically kept as constant while going for the law of demand? So we'll simply say ceteris paribus. Factors remaining constant is the major assumption that we take while writing the law of demand. And ceteris paribus or other things being constant, या other factors being constant. इसमें कौन-कौन से factors आएंगे? It will include price of substitute goods will not change, price of related goods will not change, income of the buyer of normal good will not change, income of the buyer of inferior good will not change, taste and preferences of the consumer will not change. Ultimately, in the law of demand, we are only writing the price and quantity demanded, their negative relation. So till now, it is clear to all. Kindly show me your thumb so that I can come across that you have perfectly understood the topic. Amrita, Dhruv, Ishita, Ashika, Kushi, Yatin, very good. So it is perfectly understood by all. Very good. So again, moving further. So now in the law of demand only, you can observe the schedule and the diagram that is on your screen. The schedule and diagram on your screen. So of all, we talk about the demand schedule. You see the demand schedule on your screen, where prices are given 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and quantity demanded is written in units 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What it is reflecting? It is simply reflecting the negative relation of price and quantity demanded. When price is falling from 5 rupees to 4 rupees, 4 rupees to 3 rupees, 3 to 2, 2 to 1, we observe that quantity demanded in units is increasing. That means if a commodity is already priced at rupees 5, we are demanding 1 unit. And you see to it. I'm just going to annotate that. And you see to this. See, when the price of commodity is 5 rupees, the consumer is demanding 1 unit, right? When the price comes to 4, now the consumer is demanding 3. Now the consumer is demanding 3, right? So when the price of commodity is now coming to 3, the consumer is demanding 3. When the price of commodity coming to 2, the consumer is demanding 4. When the price is falling to 1, the consumer is demanding 5. Which means what we observe in demand schedule, we are observing in demand schedule that it is simply showing the tabular presentation. It is simply showing the tabular presentation of price of a commodity and its quantity demanded. It is showing the tabular presentation of inverse relation between price and quantity demanded, which is reflecting the price is falling, quantity demanded is increasing. Is it clear to all? Or any doubt is there? What is demand schedule? Demand schedule is simply, you can even write in your notebook what is demand schedule. It may come in 1 mark also. A question may arise in 1 mark. Define demand schedule. There we will simply define that demand schedule reflects the inverse relation between price and quantity demanded in a tabular form. So whenever in a tabular form, price of commodity is inversely related to quantity demand mentioned, is known as a demand schedule. Here as a assumption, hypothetical figures we have, say ही कोई भी hypothetical figures आप ले सकते हो. Please make sure that you are showing the inverse relation, that when the price is falling, demand is increasing. When the price is increasing, demand is falling. So it should reflect the inverse relationship of price and quantity demanded. Now, come to the diagram. Just see the diagram made. See, in the microeconomics, diagrams are very, very important. Please make sure that whatever diagram is there in the concept, we have to make the diagram in exam if it is asked for. See the circle diagram which I have just annotated. Diagram देखिए आप लोग. You can see the diagram. On the x-axis we have taken the units, that is quantity demanded, and on y-axis we have taken the price of commodity. Now we are simply reflecting that quantity demanded is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Plus our price was also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See in the table में देखिए. Accordingly we are just plotting the points. When price is 1 rupee, the quantity demanded is 5 units demanded. When price comes to 2 rupees, the quantity demanded by the consumer is 4 units. 3, 3 पे 3, 4, 2, 5, 1. We get this demand curve. हमारे पास ये demand curve मिल रही है. Can you see this? We are getting this demand curve. This demand curve is what is the nature of this demand curve now? Demand nature is it is left to right, downward sloping. It is coming from left to right, downward sloping, reflecting inverse relationship between price and quantity. So if the question arises why it is showing the inverse relationship, why it is showing the inverse relationship, if it is saying why it is showing the inverse relationship, we will simply say it is showing the inverse relationship because the price and quantity demanded are inversely related to one another. Because price and quantity demanded are inversely related to one another. वो दोनों तो inversely related ही होते हैं. That's why it is showing the inverse relationship of price and quantity demanded. I hope it is clear to all. That price and quantity, because of the price and quantity are inversely related to each other. That is why it is being seen that the demand curve is left to right, downward sloping. इसलिए डिमांड कर्व जो हमारी है दैट इज लेफ्ट टू राइट डाउनवर्ड स्लोपिंग. क्लियर टू ऑल? ओके. Let's moving further to the another point. Let's move to the next point, and that is individual demand and what is meant by market demand. The other question is what is meant by individual demand and what is meant by market demand. दोनों में क्या difference है? Individual demand and market demand. When we say individual demand, I will simply say individual demand refers to like when we say individual demand, it is simply like refers to where, one second, yeah. So individual demand refers to any quantity demanded. You know, it is that quantity which is demanded by a consumer at a given price during a given period of time. For example, I talk about a mobile phone, right? And that too, I'll talk about a Nokia mobile phone, suppose. The quantity demanded of one product, Nokia mobile phone. The quantity demanded of one product. The quantity demanded of one product by an individual consumer, by me only or by myself only, is known as individual demand. Which means how many units, suppose take the example of pen, how many units of a pen I am going to demand is the individual demand. Reynolds. How many units of Reynolds blue pen I am going to demand is the individual demand. And how many units of that Reynolds blue pen whole market demands, means by all the consumers in the market is the market demand. I hope it is clear to you all. जब भी एक इंडिविजुअल डिमांड कर रहा है, that is individual demand, and whenever for one product the total market is demanding, that is called as market demand. I hope it is clear to all that Reynolds blue pen demanded by myself only termed as an individual demand, but the quantity of Reynolds blue pen demanded by all consumers in the market would be termed as a market demand. I hope it is clear to all. The definition is clear to all. Individual demand and market demand. Okay. You know, individual demand may second difference, as you can see on your screen, may or may not follow law of demand. Why? Because that is basically based on the individual demand, and maybe a particular commodity which is essential good for me or which is habitual necessity for me would be habitual necessity for everybody in the market. जरूरी तो नहीं है. If a cold drink, soft drink is a habitual necessity for myself, then even at high price, I am going to buy soft drink because that is my habitual necessity. The law of demand is not applying in individual case, right? It doesn't mean that whole market has the habitual necessity of soft drink. So in the case of individual demand, the law of demand may or may not arise. But when we talk about market demand, the law of demand always being followed. It is always followed in the law in the market demand. All right. So when we talk about individual demand, meaning for myself, for an individual, what is the quantity demanded for one product? is the individual demand. But what is the quantity demanded by all the buyers in the market for one product? Market demand. So I think first 2 points are clear. Now, individual demand. Individual demand is not affected by all the factors affecting market demand, whereas market demand is affected by all the factors affecting individual demand. We have already studied that what are the factors affecting market demand or individual demand. Price of commodity itself, price of related goods, and income of the consumer, and taste and preferences of the consumer. So both these individual demand and market demand are affected by these factors. Right? So is it clear to everybody now? Meaning of individual demand and meaning of market demand. All right. So next question, my next question on this that you can see, change in quantity demanded versus change in demand. Very, very important question. I will just make its difference. I'll write its difference and I'll just share the PDF with you all on your WhatsApp group right after the class. Change in quantity demanded versus change in demand. Very important question. Change in quantity demanded versus change in demand. Now, what is change in quantity demanded? Whenever is मेरे आज बहुत ढंग से सुनना. This question is very, very important. Whenever the quantity of a product is, whenever the quantity demanded of a product is changed due to its price, it is called change in quantity demanded. And whenever there is a change due to any factors other than price, whenever there is a change due to any factor other than price, that is change in demand. Please be very particular in this topic as it is very, very important. जब भी डिमांड में चेंज होगा उसके खुद की प्राइस की वजह से, it will be termed as change in quantity demanded. जब भी डिमांड में चेंज होगा उसके खुद प्राइस के अलावा किसी भी फैक्टर की वजह से, it will be change in demand. All right. So whenever there is a change in quantity demanded due to change in its price, it will be termed as change in quantity demanded. But whenever there is a change in demand due to factors other than price, it will be termed as change in demand. For example, the demand of pen is changed. The demand of pen is falling because there is rise in price in the pen. It will be termed as change in quantity demanded. But when the quantity demanded of pen is changing due to taste and preferences, due to income of the consumer, due to price of related goods, but not due to its own price, it will be termed as change in demand. I hope this topic is clear to all. I hope यहाँ तक सबको clear है जो मैंने अभी बताया है. It is clear to all. Show me your thumb if it is clear to all. Then I would be asking some question based on this topic. Perfectly all right. Okay. Fine. Now I'm asking question based on this topic only. Okay, Samir Goel have a doubt and change in demand. Samir, change in demand is basically whenever the demand changes due to other factors, but not due to its own price. Change in demand, whenever there is a change, whenever the quantity is changing due to its own price of the commodity, it is changing quantity demanded. So now I'm asking some questions based on this. My question: people buy more ice cream during summer than during winter. Kindly write your answer in the chat box. Whether this statement belongs to change in demand or this statement belongs to change in quantity demanded. People buy more ice creams during summer than during winters. Kindly write your answer in the chat box. It belongs to change in quantity demanded or change in demand. Okay, right. Yes, please do write. You all can write. I'm watching out the chat box. You all can write the answer. Okay. Fine. Change in demand. Change in demand. Everybody is writing the correct answer. Change in demand. Perfect. So I hope you have just about this concept. Whenever the commodity's demand will be changing due to its own price, then it will be changed in quantity demanded. And whenever commodity price will change due to factors, then it will be change in demand. Very good. Ronak Malhotra has given the perfect answer by explanation, because there is a climate condition changing, demand is changing, so there is change in demand. Ronak. Okay, second point. Consumer income falls and number of automobiles purchased declines. Consumer income falls and number of automobiles purchased declines. Well done. No. Pariti Agarwal, you have given the wrong answer, Pariti. Nisha, you also have given the wrong answer. बाकी सबने सही दिया है. Everybody else has given the right. Bansal, you have given the wrong answer. Lochan also given wrong answer. Rest are giving right. See, consumer income falls. You can see this. It is saying consumer income falls. It is not saying the price of the commodity has fallen. No, consumer income falls. We are saying consumer income falls and it is resulting in changing in the quantity demanded. So of course it is change in demand. It has given the perfect answer with reason. Change in demand because their income of the consumer is changing, but not the price of the commodity. Very good. Ronak also, if person income falls, he or she is not able to buy the automobile. Okay, good. Shreya Jain also given the correct answer, change in demand. Perfect. Now come for the third point. LG reduces the price of its TV set by 10% and hence its sales increases. LG reduces the price of its TV sets by 10% and hence sale increases. Very good. Change in quantity demanded. Everybody is giving the perfect and right answer. Change in quantity demanded. Because here उसने specify कर दिया that we are reducing the price of TV. And as a result of reducing the price of TV by 10%, reducing the price of TV, there is increase in the sale by 10%. So it is change in quantity demanded. Very good. Now see the fourth one. A colleague raises its tuition fee and as a result the number of student enrollment forms falls. A college raises its tuition fee and hence as a result the number of student enrollment forms falls. Perfect. Yes. Everybody has given the correct answer. I hope this topic is clear to all. Today's topics are clear to everybody. What topics we have covered today? We have covered law of demand. What are the assumptions to law of demand? What is demand schedule? And what is demand diagram? All right. Then we have covered what is individual demand, what is market demand. Then we have covered change in quantity demanded versus change in demand. More explanation I will be just giving you on WhatsApp group. We will be taking in the next class. Change in demand versus change in quantity demanded. Because in this we have almost one more concept: movement along a demand curve and shift in demand curve. Yash Sharma, still some chapter is left. Hardly 20% chapter is still left. So we'll be covering the whole chapter maybe in tomorrow's class or I mean on Monday or on Tuesday we'll be completing this chapter, and then we'll be coming to the next chapter, elasticity of demand. So till we are just doing, we'll do the next class on Monday. Okay? We will be taking the further concept of change in demand versus change in quantity demand. So if you have any doubt, you can WhatsApp me on my number. And now I'm just ending the class. We'll take the next class on Monday.